Hi there, and welcome to This Explainer. I am so incredibly glad you could join me today. Go ahead and get comfortable, because we are going to walk through one of the absolute most fascinating evolutions in technology happening right now. We're officially moving away from the era of single, isolated AI bots and stepping into a future defined by collaborative AI teams. As your guide today, I'm going to take my time and speak slowly, breaking down this complex architectural shift step by step. By the end of our time together, you're going to have a complete structural understanding of how these incredible systems actually work.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll break this down into 3 clear chapters. Chapter 1 is the concept, Chapter 2 is the example, and Chapter 3 is the takeaway. Let's jump right in.
Chapter 1. The concept.
To ground us, why does this matter right now? Well, Gartner recently projected that by the end of 2026, a massive 40% of enterprise applications are going to feature task-specific AI agents. 40%. To put that into perspective, in 2025, that number was sitting at under 5%. That is just a wild, unprecedented leap in adoption, right? It tells us we aren't just experimenting anymore. We are talking about a fundamental restructuring of how software actually operates at the enterprise level. But what does that really look like in practice?
Let me define a multi-agent system for you simply. Think of it this way. It's like hiring an AI manager, an AI researcher, and an AI writer. Instead of doing it alone, they pass the work back and forth, checking each other's mistakes. Just like a human business relies on a team of specialists to accomplish complex goals, we're now designing AI to do the exact same thing.
The why behind this team-based approach really comes down to mitigating what we call cognitive load. If you give a single AI agent 50 different tools and ask it to do everything, it just gets completely overwhelmed. It hallucinates. It forgets basic instructions. By deploying a team, we enable specialization. So a coding agent can use a model optimized strictly for Python, while a search agent uses a completely different model optimized just for reading documents. This also drives parallelism, meaning different agents can handle subtasks at the exact same time. Plus, it permits decoupled evaluation, which basically means you can test and grade your AI writer completely independently from your AI researcher.
Now, if you look at the screen right now, this brilliantly illustrates the most common enterprise architecture today, the supervisor pattern. Just visualize a standard corporate org chart. Right up here at the top, we have a high-reasoning supervisor node. Think Claude Sonnet 4 or OpenAI's O3. This supervisor receives the main goal, breaks it down, and delegates specific tasks to these faster, much more cost-efficient worker nodes down below, like Gemini Flash. Once those workers finish up, a totally separate reviewer agent steps in to validate the final output against the supervisor's original plan. It's highly structured and honestly incredibly effective.
Chapter 2. The example. Okay, so you have a team of agents. They obviously need a plan, but a static 10-step plan and solve approach? That is highly brittle. I mean, if step 2 fails, steps 3 through 10 are completely useless. That's exactly why 2026 best practices dictate dynamic or adaptive planning. With dynamic planning, the agent actively reevaluates its strategy after every single action, and the real secret sauce here is checkpointing. This forces the agent to commit its progress to a saved state store after every major subgoal. So if something goes sideways, it can just safely backtrack to the last checkpoint instead of starting the whole process all over again. So how are engineering teams actually building these dynamic systems? Well, the dominant pattern today is graph-based orchestration. If you look at major frameworks like LangGraph, Google ADK, Microsoft, and Claude, the industry has really aligned on using directed graphs. This is so cool because it lets teams map out workflows visually. The nodes in the graph are the agents, and the edges connecting them are the specific rules that transition the work from one agent to the next, passing along a tightly controlled type state. It makes debugging these complex AI workflows so much more intuitive.
And this strategy scales up into something called recursive task decomposition for massive projects, like building a full-stack application. Here, a master agent actually spawns sub-agents. But, and this is absolutely crucial to making this work without crashing the system, the master agent gives the sub-agents only minimal context. They just get the exact puzzle piece they need. If you feed a sub-agent the entire project history, you're asking for token bloat and hallucination. Give them exactly what they need, nothing more, and then the master agent cleanly consolidates the results at the end.
But what if your perfect specialist agent lives on a completely different platform? Well, that brings us to a massive breakthrough, the agent-to-agent or A2A protocol. Thanks to A2A, your orchestrator running on LangChain can seamlessly delegate a highly specific compliance check to a specialized Google ADK agent. It completely shatters vendor silos. Orchestrators can discover remote agents via their metadata, these agent cards, send them tasks over standard web protocols, and perfectly stream the results right back. It is literally the ultimate open market for AI labor.
Chapter 3, the takeaway.
All right, so the absolute biggest hurdle in a multi-agent environment? Managing what we call the shared blackboard, or the global state. Just imagine 5 human workers all fighting to write on the exact same whiteboard at the exact same time. Total chaos, right? In AI systems, we call these write conflicts. To solve this, the best practice is using transactional handoffs. Basically, an agent has to officially own the lock before it's allowed to write to the global state. It's a strict rule that ensures the memory shared across the entire team stays perfectly consistent and uncorrupted.
And what happens when we need these systems to perform really high-stakes tasks like medical diagnoses or legal reviews? We introduce peer-to-peer debate. In this setup, Agent A proposes an answer. Then, an adversarial Agent B steps in and actively tries to find flaws, logical gaps, or hallucinations in Agent A's work. Agent A takes that harsh critique and refines its answer. Actually, through this continuous, rigorous debate, the agents eventually converge on a final result that is vastly superior and honestly much safer than anything one agent could have ever produced solo.
As we wrap up our lesson today, I really want to leave you with this final thought. The landscape is shifting incredibly fast toward these specialized, collaborative networks. The era of the lone chatbot, that's fading fast. The ultimate question for you isn't whether you're going to use AI in the coming years. It's how you will purposefully design, structure, and orchestrate your very own specialized AI workforce. Thank you so much for learning with me today. I really hope this explainer brought you some solid clarity, and I highly encourage you to keep exploring these fascinating architectures.